Welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the green lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. You can always find this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and the Vanniket Psychiatric Institute for the Criminally Insane. There you will get the cruel physician's tutelage of Richard Benjamin Vanniket. Yes. He out-butchered Bundy. True words. He made
Started off a little dark, all right?
Yeah, he made Manson look meek. It's, you can find the podcast there. It's in the room where all of the taxidermied horses and in like scientific human anatomy sets are. It's in one of the rib cages. Yeah. Like the third episode of the podcast is there. The rest of it's deeper inside the actual institute. But I don't really recommend anyone go deeper into that place. You'll find spooky things. You'll get the big spooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find late Michael Jackson work.
Yeah, man. You find that one weird video Ghosts that Michael Jackson made that nobody knows about.
Yeah. Or you find the album where it's Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney.
Yeah, man. No, you find the Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy EP. It's kind of the worst. It's haunted all by itself. Oh, man. Don't go to the house on Haunted Hill is pretty much what I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't do it. You'll only find pain in Chris Kattan. Nobody wants to find Chris Kattan. Oh, man. Of course, I'm your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is my always cosmic co-host,
Winter Servant. Holla at ya.
Holla at your boy. He gonna put his ankle in it. Yes, sir. How's your new year treating you so far, man?
Well, it started off great, and then work started, and then it started off mediocre.
That's how it went for me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah. How was your New Year's?
Kind of boring. I didn't do anything on New Year's Eve because I tried to be smart, and my brain tells me don't go out because that's when all the dumb people come. Yeah. And there's actually something that happened in our town during New Year's Eve.
Oh no!
And the way I imagine it is that at one of the local bars, everyone's doing the countdown, and then while all the balloons are coming down, someone decides to light M80 firework.
Nice.
It like shakes the room, sort
Inside
of thing.
The bar?
That's what I'm assuming, because I heard like someone got injured or like someone like got hit on the side with something.
That's
crazy. I wasn't there, but it was like right when that happened, they like turned the lights on, like, you need to go. Everyone needs to go. Yeah,
man. In LA, because of all the fireworks, packs of roaming dogs attack random strangers on the street. It's crazy. Yeah. It's what they don't tell you in the brochure. Yeah. Packs of roaming street dogs get you. But yeah, man, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so I just saved my celebration for the day after when I went and saw The Last Jedi.
Oh, man. Okay, sum up the movie in one word. I'm just curious.
Babes in Toyland in space. No,
guys and dolls. We're just a bunch of crazy guys and dolls.
That's I sum it as an ensemble cast gone wrong, probably.
Wow. So like 3 Men and a Baby, almost?
Yeah, only it's more like mischievous. Like, hold on, I'm taking off my jacket here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's more to me like they have so many working elements that it's like, okay, let's focus on this plate over here. Let's spin that around, and then don't forget about this plate over here.
Hmm.
And it's all gonna come together at the end.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest problems with it too. It has one extra plot line that it really didn't need. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you cut one plot line and the movie's infinitely shorter and better, right?
Right.
It's a tighter thing. So I'm happy you got to experience that and like form your own opinion about that damn movie.
Yeah, it's like one part of my brain goes like, well, they're definitely going for a children's audience, but then I can't say that when they're also talking about the complexities of war, where they're talking about like what this one guy is selling arms for both sides. I'm like,
Yeah,
cool.
it doesn't know what it wants to be, right?
Yeah,
It's like we want to make marketing happy, but then we want to have this complex layered story, but then we want to make children happy, but we want to make the faithful fans upset. You want to shake the apple cart. It's like pick one, right? You know.
and now I have to be careful too because there's parts of it that my mind goes, well, that's for children, but then I've heard from like some of my friends, like when those little creatures on the Millennium Falcon, the progs or whatever they're called.
Porgs or whatever.
The porgs, yeah. I go, oh, well, that's for children. They're going to be releasing toys, and they're going to be $40, and I was right on.
Mm-hmm.
But then one of my friends like, oh no, when they were on screen in the theater, my sister said, I want one, and she's in her late 20s.
Because
So
honestly, like the stuff they make for kids, quote unquote, are more for adults nowadays. Kids don't care about toys anymore, man. They just want their phones, their tablets and stuff. You know, it's like
it could even be that they're marketing it marketing it towards women.
Women and nerds is pretty much their biggest wells because, it's the action genre for a long time has slated women, which is probably most of the 80s and 90s. Mm-hmm. And it says something that a lot, like the top 3 major grossing films of last year all had female leads. Which is kind of cool. Which is really cool. In Wonder Woman, Star Wars, and I forget the third one, but there's another one where like the third grossing film had a female lead, and that's awesome. That's right what the doctor ordered. But then you have to sway your marketing towards that too. You know what I'm saying?
And in conclusion with like my thoughts on it, it's just it reminds me of the early days of, well, not early days, but when they were trying to market football to a wider audience. Right. Football and Star Wars have something in common where football and Star Wars, they have their fans. Like Star Wars fans are going to see the movie, and that's why Star Wars broke blockbuster records or whatever.
Yeah, it just hit a billion, man.
Yeah, and football people are going to watch football. But then how do we get that market, aka women, to watch football? And that's when football started introducing like the stories behind the players of like this guy was born in a cardboard box in the corner of the street sort of story, and now look at him now getting brain concussions. So now
to that, like football marketing towards women or children or different demographics other than alpha male. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's interesting because it's like, you started getting more female announcers like Pamela Cole, and that's awesome. You need that diversity in the bullpen. It was such a male dominated thing. Sports in general has always been this male dominated thing, and then you have the WNBA, and you have women's soccer and women's baseball, and it's become this almost wide scale thing where we're trying to include everyone, but. You know what they say? If you try to make everyone happy, you'll make no one happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just they still don't know how to do it. Like you were saying, introducing character stories and backstories, but that's almost a byproduct of the TMZ phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these stories are real. So it's like these backstories don't need to be fabricated or marketed to. You watch TMZ, there's always a football player messing up, or something going on with them, or have a tragic backstory like Blindside. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
which is
but
definitely
you have to look at the audience who's watching TMZ or Extra or Access Hollywood, and it's definitely a market where the majority are a certain certain person.
The ladies.
The ladies.
Well, no,
The ladies.
All the single ladies. I want to have a ladies cast, but I'm still trying to get, the ladies to join the cast. That's the future, though.
That's the most nerdy thing we said today. Try to get ladies to talk about nerd culture.
Come on, talk about the 5th issue of Spider-Man with me. She's like, nah, but, it's going to happen. Because being in LA and, going to different comic book clubs, trust me, the diversity is there. And it's beautiful and it's awesome. And then when you find it, you just geek out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the coolest thing. Oh, man.
So when are they going to do nerdmatch.com?
I'm sure there's sites out there. I'm almost positive. It's just with any kind of niche thing, you have to go searching for it, right?
I'll start working on the app.
Please. Because I need to find my nerd queen.
Your Princess Leia?
My Princess Leia, my April O'Neil, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding, but I'm not. Wink, wink.
I'll find my Miss Piggy, and that raises so many more questions.
There's nothing wrong with that, my friend. If you like it, I love it, man. Anything else going on with your week, dude?
Nothing on the top of my head. I mean, not nerd related. No. Well, I'll say, if it comes up, I'll probably say it.
That's fine, man.
Yeah.
You know the flow.
Yeah.
Right. New Year's Eve, like yours, was slow. I got hit with this bug that's like going around my office. So I was like, guess what? You're not doing anything. You're going to be in the house. So
right.
I'd have a gripe because I'm really mad at DoorDash. It's like this app where you can like order food and people deliver it to your house.
Mm-hmm.
And these bastards, the guy got my food. This bastard said it was delivered. It just left and ate my food. I was so mad. I was sitting outside in the cold waiting for this bastard to deliver my food.
So what do you do?
I had to hit up the company and be like, dude, your delivery guy just narfed my delicious meal. This is all I'm going to eat for the night. And they're just like, oh, we'll just refund your money. I was like, what? That's not good enough, dude. That's my gripe. Like, it's great that the entirety of LA could be your delivery team, but it also comes with problems where you have cats who are just like, oh man, that smells good. I'm just gonna go home. What's the worst that can happen? And next thing you know, you're SOL. That's my gripe. That was my New Year's. I was so mad. I just made me a PB&J sandwich and just went to sleep. I was just Happy New Year. It's over.
Right, those types of apps sound good, with the minor flaw being that everyone has the potential of being a jerk.
Right?
It's the same thing. It's like you're trying to implement this app that's like pretty much communism for food.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because it's a long drive from the restaurant to your house. You know what I'm saying? Anything could freaking happen. And I'm just sitting outside like boo-boo the food, just waiting like, here it comes. So, yeah, screw that app. I'm going to use more reliable ones for my delicious meats situations.
But you have to order a pizza. Don't they still have pizza delivery guys?
Yeah, I just the next day, I just ordered like, I don't want to plug any particular pizza brand, but ordered a pizza. I called it a day, man. I got over it. And I also watched Stephen King's 1922, which is on Netflix.
Ooh, what did you think?
It was interesting. It was really, 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 really interesting to watch like them do a descent into madness. But I think their main lead, Thomas Jane, left a little bit to be desired.
Too much mumbling.
Yeah, he was very mumbling. You saw it?
I've watched like the trailer and I was like, I'm never gonna understand what he's saying.
Yeah, he has one of those like Wilford Brimley voices.
Yeah,
some mashed potatoes and my wife. So he talks like that the whole movie.
Right.
And it's a little distracting, but it's pretty good. It's not better than Gerald's Game, which is another Stephen King film that came out on Netflix, which I highly recommend. Watch that, please. But
Oh, you hear the sirens. You know what time it is.
Yeah, man. Don't go outside for 20 minutes. Stay in the house.
Yep.
Shit, man. So, yeah, dude. Yeah, 1922 was good. I give it like a 7. Like a 7 out of 10 where Ender's Game, where Gerald's Game was like more like a 9.5. If it wasn't for that ending, Gerald's Game would have been a perfect film for me. But 1922, if you don't know, it's pretty much set in the year 1922. And it's about, it's set in the year 2022, and they go back in time. And it's just about a husband's machinations towards his family. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil anything.
All right.
But yeah, other than that, I watched another movie called Predestination with Ethan
Hawke.
Hawke.
Yeah.
You seen that?
That's one of my favorite time travel movies.
Yeah, I watched that, dude. That mess was a trip. You want to talk about that for a split second?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. So I dug it because it was a spin on time travel that I knew was down the road, like someone was going to do it. But when the hook hit, I was like, wow, okay, how are you going to clean this up, right? Because the whole movie is you waiting for them to wrap it up in a tight little bow. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it does it, right? It's like, and should we spoil it? Like spoilers, I guess?
No? The movie rests too much on twists, so I don't want to spoil it.
I'll just say it's a really interesting watch. It's like one of the best short stories I bet was written. You know what I mean? It's like a very interesting short story about time travel, and I'll leave it at that.
Now, would you watch it before Prism for like a? Is it Prism?
You mean Primer?
Primer, yeah.
Oh man, I put those in two different categories, man. Like Predestination is like, it's like going to like English lit, and Primer's like going to chemistry.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like my brain puts Primer in a different world. Like puts me in that movie Pi. Remember that movie Pi?
Yeah.
The movie The Cube. Remember the original Cube?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like that weird kind of like mechanized horror flick.
And, right, that Christopher Nolan, right?
Yeah, like The Cube. I think he had a hand in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Primer is like a whole different level of like, I don't even consider it time travel because it's so convoluted. But it is time travel. It's not time travel for the faint of heart. But Predestination, I definitely recommend it. It's a nice little, fun little isolated movie. It'll keep you guessing till the very end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch it before you turn a certain age, because once you turn like 40 or something, time travel movies no longer make sense to you.
Right.
Just to let you know.
Your brain instantly goes, this is bullshit. You change the channel as soon as you hit 40.
I can't tell you how many times I've tried to show like a time travel movie, or even a movie that goes back and forth in time, sort of thing, to like older people, and they get confused. Like, oh, so is this a new character? Like, no. It's him as a young boy. They're wearing the same glasses. Can't you?
Yeah. Try showing like a 70-year-old Pulp Fiction, and they just melt. Their minds just melt.
Yeah.
They just fall asleep or get very angry. It's one or the other. No, man, but yeah, time travel films are not for the faint of heart. Even the basic ones like Back to the Future or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, man.
Right. Well, I still haven't seen Back to the Future. But
you never seen Back to the Future?
I've seen clips.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
I'm driving to your house, bro. We're gonna go watch. We're gonna triple it up. Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 in the cartoon.
It makes me feel like I want to go to sleep just thinking about.
No, man. Back to the Future. Man, 2018 could be a good year for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to do some movie commentaries, and I think we're going to watch those movies together, and we're going to do live reactions while you watch it.
That'd be cool.
Record them, and people could play them back and listen to our commentary.
Yeah, I'm no longer doing couch commentary, so that'd be fun.
Oh, then here you go.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. You hear that here, ladies and gentlemen. We're figuring it out. 2018, let's get it. Speaking of 2018, let's get into this news.
Ooh.
Let's get into this news. Not a lot of news, because it's the beginning of the year and it's quite slow. But there's a couple of things that I figured we talk about that seemed a little interesting. A couple of things I really don't want to talk about, but I do have an opinion on it, so I might as well put that out there. let's start light and go dark, shall we? Devil May Cry director says they're working on a new game and it's almost finished. Uh, this is like a non-news article, kind of, because it's like we're making something, but yeah, of course you are, right? You're a game development studio, and it's more like, what could they be making? And these guys could possibly be making anything from Devil May Cry to, and I don't think it's Platinum Games because that's a different article,
Right.
but Devil May Cry is usually a Capcom team. It is a Capcom team, so chances are it's going to be maybe Rival Schools, which is one of my favorite fighting games. It's too old. It's one of those games that aged bad, but when you remember it fondly, you know what I mean? Rival Schools is so dope. If you can't play,
Metal Slug does. Capcom did Metal Slug, right?
Oh no, that's SNK. You're thinking about SNK.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, SNK did Metal Slug, which is one of my favorite shooters.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, better than Contra, but a lot of people would fight me on that, and it's fine. But of course, they're making Devil May Cry 5. We all know what they're making. It's just a matter of when can we see it, right?
Right.
And I am a huge Devil May Cry fan. I have all the original games, plus all the remakes, even DMC Devil May Cry, which a lot of people don't like, which I think DMC Devil May Cry is the Justice League of the series. Like, everything around it's horrible, but the actual core is pretty decent. And that's given a lot of cause to Justice League, because I think even Justice League's core is kind of tainted. But this is one of those we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever played any of the Devil May Cry games, Winter?
No. Like, as soon as it starts looking like an Asian action game, I start to turn my head.
Why? What
I don't know.
You're just not feeling it, man?
It's like, it's kind of like the feeling that when I see like anime games, it kind of had like the same. If I remember correctly, it had like the same look in the cover of like anime in my mind back in the day.
You're just like, no.
I'd rather play Nathan Drake Uncharted or.
Oh man, it's like, you know what, character action games are a acquired taste, man. It's like something that you gotta dig, and like, if I had to think of one game like genre that I have a gut reaction, like I don't want to play that, it's like MOBAs. Like, I just have no desire to even touch a MOBA like League of Legends or Dota or any of that stuff, dude. Like, it looks like they're skill based, of course. Yeah. It just does not look fun to me, man. I'm all like games like Civilization and, you know, Command and Conquer. All
right, now those are fighting words.
I'm just saying, dude. You know what? You know, you said if you see anime, you turn around, man. But I'm the same way, dude. Like, if I see Command and Conquer, I'm just like, you know, I'm like that one Drake meme where it's like, I love me some Devil May Cry. Nah, I'm cool on Command and Conquer. It's just a preference thing. I can say the same thing about race car games. I'm not a very big racing
we can
guy.
agree on that.
Yeah, I'm not a big racing guy. I had Gran Turismo as a kid. Like, only race car games I liked were like Split Second on the PlayStation 2, I want to say, and like Need for Speed Underground. That was my favorite racing games. Need for Speed Underground. That mess was dope. But man, speaking of character action games, Platinum Games is thinking of publishing a new IP. And Platinum Games is one of the more reliable gaming developers out right now. They've made everything from Metal Gear Revengeance, which is one of my favorites, the Bayonetta series, Wonderful 101. These guys just knock it out the park every time they do something. They were going to make a game called Scalebound for the Xbox exclusive, but Xbox put the brakes on that and shut down production, and they've been kind of like a ship with no rudder ever since. You know, and everybody's like, well, what's going to happen to Platinum? You know, they just out of effect. It's like, no, apparently they're working on this new IP, and with new IPs, who knows, right? It's from Glorious Nippon. It could literally be about anything. It could be so weird and backwards. You just got to wait to see what it actually is. But I'm happy they're getting work, so that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a gaming type you wish was revised? Like, is there like a type of game you just haven't seen in a long time that you wish got a revival?
I think survival games need to be revamped. Because now what we see too much, too many survival games taking a page from Minecraft sort of thing, where that's not survival, that's just you mining resources sort of thing. But survival should be that you're scavenging for your stuff around the city or stuff like that.
Right.
And
what did you think of the Fallout expert mode where you got thirsty and you got tired and you had to? Would you consider that a level of survival? Or is it
I like that, but I think it also needs to have a multiplayer feel because you need to be able to destroy other people's colonies to get supplies.
Wasn't there a game like that where it was like a couple of years ago? Yeah, I remember one specifically where you were in roaming groups, and it was like you had to someone had to stand watch, and the game was constantly going. So you can come back, and someone could have hijacked your base and taken all of your stuff.
Right, there's Project Arc that does that, and then Conan Exiles as well.
Yeah, man. I like survival, but I think there's too much action in most survival games now. You know,
that's true.
I think there needs to be an element of combat, right? You know, to protect and survive, but you shouldn't feel overpowered. You know what I'm saying? You should feel kind of struggling throughout the entire game, because that's the whole point of survival, right? Is that sense of desperation, you know. So I would play a dope survival game if it had a good core atmosphere and had a good multiplayer, as long as there wasn't no damn microtransactions.
Yeah, and they also need to revamp RTS, grand strategy games, because I mean, not to get into it too much, but there's a scale of strategy games where you have one side, you have Conquistador or whatever, Age of Conquest, which is you get to determine how many troops go somewhere, and it's the weather affects how many troops get there at a time. It's super complicated. And then you have simple strategy like Halo Wars, we'll say.
Right.
And it's Command and Conquer hasn't released anything in forever,
right? Because
their last endeavor was a massive multiplayer online freeware of generals, and that just bombed. But they need to there needs to be a good strategy game out.
Would you consider StarCraft 2 one of those games? Because I'm just ignorant to that genre.
Yeah, StarCraft is one of the founders of that.
Cool.
I would say. So I would say that's a good example of them continuing the legacy of RTS games. Only StarCraft falls into the not as complicated strategy. They're in the middle ground because you still know this is what all the online players are doing, sort of thing.
Right. That's cool, man. That's cool. Speaking of grounds, they just released information on this new horror movie I'm really interested in looking at. Helen Mirren, Hollywood starlet, is playing Sarah Winchester in the Winchester-House film. It's gonna be a scary movie. And for those who don't know about the Winchester-House, it's one of the most interesting real life stories of all time. It's really crazy. How are you familiar with the Winchester story?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's I hope, because it's real, I hope they don't make it too silly. You know what I'm saying? If I never see one ghost or one boo haunted house moment, and it just has an air of dread, I would like that a whole lot better. You know what I mean? Than, at the end of the movie, there's giant CG monster, right?
I would make it where you don't quite know whether it's real or whether it's just in her head.
Exactly. For those who don't know, Sarah Winchester was the heir of the Winchester rifle family. They made one of the best rifles in American history. And she had a ton of money, but she was also supposedly crazy because she said she saw spirits. And so she kept building onto her house to keep the spirits in the house. So she would add floor after floor and room after room and constantly build up her house until to the point where she died mid building it. It was never fully completed to her specifications, and a lot of different stories have been based off of this house. Like Rose Red has been based off of this Stephen King's Rose Red, I believe, was based off of this real life story. And like you said, I would really want it to be really like a head game. You know what I mean? Kind of like the movie. You ever seen Section 9? It's a horror film.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite horror movies because it's based in an insane asylum, and these guys are renovating it, and the asylum starts to mess with them, like, and you don't know if it's actually haunted or are they just going crazy because of all the asbestos that's in the air. It could be causing them to hallucinate. You know what I mean? It's like one of my favorite horror movies. This great psychological thriller, and I hope Winchester has the muted hand to not make it silly. You know what I mean? Like make it like optical effects and is that shadow real? Kind of like how The Others was. Remember that? Remember the Others?
Yeah, The Others were good.
You know what I'm saying?
Movie. Yeah.
With Nicole Kidman. Like, you know, you see weird stuff, but it's all explainable, right?
For sure.
It's air of horror. So I'm hoping that's the direction they go with the Winchester house. And it's not, at the end you see a big giant Satan, you know, floating over the house like Shao Kahn or some shit.
All right. Like, if they'll, at least they take a message from James Wan, I think it is his name, who did the Insidious films, I think that'd be fun.
I love James Wan because he makes these movies on such a small amount. You know what I mean? It's like really no CG. It's very little makeup effects. It's all based on like camera setup, you know, and music cues, and it's really old school. He has a very old school approach to horror, and it's just like, you know, Lord bless the guy, man. And I wonder how he handles Aquaman. That's gonna be so CG heavy,
right?
And it's gonna be dumb. Like, what is this guy gonna do as a horror artist, pretty much, to make Aquaman dope? And it's just like, is Aquaman gonna have moments of horror? Like, that would be sick to me, dude. Like, I don't know what to expect out that movie, especially with him. And he has such a dull hand when it comes to special effects. And, you know, the producers and the bigwigs don't want that thing to be special effected up. You know what I mean? With all types of crazy stuff. But fingers crossed, you know, 2018 is going to be a good year for film, one way or another. Either to clown or to embrace and enjoy. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Man. Speaking of clowns, we're going to go to the news of the week, which I hate to say is the news of the week, but it's something I did want to talk about because everybody's talking about it. And it's YouTuber apologizes for uploading footage of an apparent suicide. And this is, just so you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's this YouTube sensation dude named Logan Paul. He's a bit of a goofball and he goes online doing silly shit, right? He gets millions of views and he has a weird little fan base, and more power to him at that point, on that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy goes to glorious Nippon, he goes to Japan and starts acting a fool, right? Just doing a bunch of silly racist shit, being insensitive, and it's just like, whatever, right? It's just, I guess that's his bad. But what cuts it is that in Japan there's an area that they call the suicide forest. And it's well known in Japan, and it's a place where people go to actually commit suicide. And it's usually blocked off from the from tourists, so that if that happens, you know, that stuff is like that on a walking trail for some kid to see or something like that, right? And it's an actual problem that they've been trying to take care of, but it's just been that way for years. So Logan Paul and his merry group of jackass level squadron mates go out into the forest looking for fights, I guess. And they stumble upon an actual quote unquote real suicide victim, unfortunately. And this guy films it and yucks it up in front of the camera. I haven't watched the video because I refuse to, because that's just sick. But the dude puts up the video and it gets something crazy, like 6 million views, right? YouTube doesn't touch it, right? It's not flagged or nothing until people started complaining, right? Saying, what the hell? What is this? And the guy gets flamed, obviously, and YouTube then decides to take down the video. Not before the guy makes his 6 million views, though. And the reason I bring this up is because it's just something that goes to Not him, because if he's an idiot people are going to try to post whatever idiot stuff they want to post. You know what I'm saying? And it's human nature, right? People are idiots and jerks, and there's nothing we can do about that individually. You know, except for not condone that type of behavior, which goes to YouTube, that is quick to demonetize and quick to flag anyone who even mentions the word Mickey Mouse or shows a picture of Iron Man on their video. But this guy posts this bullshit, and it literally gets them 6 million views before they decide to take it down, not for taste reasons, but for flack reasons. You know what I mean? I just find that deplorable. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he is, like you said, it's idiots are going to do idiotic things.
Yeah.
But it's also, he is like the tip of the iceberg sort of thing.
He's like PewDiePie levels of you're just a freaking idiot, right? Like,
well, I would say he even has more influence than PewDiePie because PewDiePie has he's going to be on the top of the YouTube for a while. This guy not only goes past YouTube, he has his own merchandise, which he promotes and everything. He does his own music. He has music videos that he does. His brother, Logan Paul, or is this Jake Paul or Logan?
It's Jake Paul.
Yeah,
something like that, right?
Yeah, his. Well, the other brother did something stupid as well, of finding a rapper's house and then releasing a vlog so pretty much doxing him. Like, that's this is where this rapper, right? Post Malone, I believe, was the guy. So congratulations.
Right.
And so now this, and another thing to keep in mind is that the video, the majority of the people watching his channel are children.
Yes, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's children.
And it's like, I would recommend anyone to YouTube search H3's like reviews of Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and they pretty much just cut it like, this is the videos that are appropriate, YouTube thinks are appropriate for children to watch, but they will like take down videos they make because they say controversial things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's like, this guy is a major YouTube pull, so you would think that they monitor his channel closer than any other small little channel, but that's not the case, right? Or they do monitor it and they don't care. You know what I mean? Is YouTube just an algorithm, or is it actual people with their hands on it? Because I know Google is serious business. Google is very specific about their SEO, about what they have on their search engine, and they're very on it. You know what I'm saying? So for YouTube to slip up and allow this mess to be online and not even punish this negative behavior, makes me not want to be on the channel. You know what I mean? It's like, and I don't want to hurt myself for this craziness, but it's just very irritating to see like up and coming YouTubers trying to make content and being flagged and having 7-8 hours of content being claimed and all types of crazy stuff like that, for this guy to post the most deplorable thing you could possibly post, right? Outside of actual crime, murder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it'd be up long enough for it to make him hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad revenue. And for him to give like a half-assed apology. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even want to talk about this, but it was all on my Twitter. It was all on my YouTube feed. I'm just like, I guess I have to say something, right? Because this is crazy. You know, it's emphasizing the worst of human nature. Is what it is, right? Especially for our children who don't know no better. It's just going to watch this guy because he's a goofball and he does wacky and crazy stuff.
Right.
You know? It's like Tom Green. Remember how big Tom Green was?
Yes, he's the modern Tom Green.
He's the modern Tom Green. Because there was a time where you couldn't tell Tom Green nothing, man. He was the cutest thing in the world. And
I'm going to marry Drew Barrymore.
I'm going to marry Drew Barrymore and burn her house down. The Barrymore estate has been around since 1910. Funny. My bum is on the lake. You know, stupid shit like that. And this is that multiplied and inflated for now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, YouTube needs to do a better job at policing this shit, man. Like, real talk. Like, And unfortunately, not all parents are diligent enough to be monitoring their child's YouTube intake. You know what I'm saying? So it's like kids are going to get this stuff either at school or on their own devices, and even adults. Like nobody wants to see that on their timeline. I don't care, what age you are. So just YouTube needs to tighten this stuff up. Idiots are going to idiot. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to the company who's putting out this content to monitor it as much as they want to take money from the smaller guy. That's all I'm saying. Make it even, right? Make it even. Because that's not cool. Because that's, if that was my kid watching that video, I would be super pissed. And then I have to talk to my kid and explain what actually, be an adult and explain what happened and what it actually means and how insensitive it is.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird,
man. Super weird, man. But to change the pace, I just wanted to bring it up because I think it's important for people to be wary of this stuff. Because even the biggest YouTube people make mistakes. But this isn't a mistake. This is a premeditated act. He didn't slip up and do something. He edited that video, right? He added music to it. He thought it was funny. So it's like, whatever. But I did want to say that for our younger masters of the Nerdiverse and our parent masters of the Nerdiverse who may not be aware of this stuff, just keep an eye on what your kids absorb online, because apparently it's the Wild West out here. You know what I mean? People can post whatever they want.
And just a shout out to parents in general. If you're not if you're not going to teach your kids, there's other willing things that are going to teach your kids
real quick and easy.
Yeah.
If you're too sheepish to have this conversation with your children, don't worry about it, because the internet's going to teach them its own way. And either going to learn negatively or positively. So just keep an eye out on this stuff, man. Monitor what your kids are doing. Check their browser history. You know what I'm saying? Limit their intake. I don't want this limited across the board, because people can watch whatever the hell they want as adults.
Right.
But like you said, this guy's major demographic is children. You know what I'm saying? So the majority of people who saw this content were children, right? So it's like, just keep an eye out and just try to really tighten that up, especially if your kids at a certain age where they're super impressionable and absolutely shouldn't be watching this stuff. I'm an adult.
Raise damn kids.
Raise your kids. Don't let, kill the babysitter, as they would say in Cable Guy. Unplug the TV. On to some lighter stuff. Let's get into these questions and answers. You ready for some questions and answers there, Winter?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. If you want to ask questions to this podcast, you say, Mike G, where do I go to send a question? I will tell you with bells on to send those to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. You say, hey, Mike, wait, I've been watching Poppy videos and I'm stuck in a loop. How do I send emails to your channel? You can send those to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. Let's get to these questions, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. In all of movies, comic books, and video games, what's one of your favorite fictional races?
Well, if I'm going to give you a response I would have given back in high school, and that would be the alien from Species.
Talk about inappropriate content, bro.
Right?
Man, those things don't work out well, man. You want to be one, or you just think they're cool?
No, I'd be one.
You want to be the male version of that thing?
Yeah.
Did that thing have 5 penises or something? That thing had
I don't know about that, but
I saw the movie, man. The thing had 14 penises.
I just remember the one where Jeff Goldblum was in it, and then he lived through it, so it's perfectly fine.
Are you talking about Species with Natasha Henstridge?
Yeah, right.
Dude, that's the one where Melina.
Yeah, where she's trying to find a mate so that she can spread her aliens.
Yeah, dude. The dude had his spinal column. Each ring of his spinal column was a penis, dude.
I don't know about that, but we'll move on.
Okay, I'll let you rock with that. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, you can leave this in the podcast.
I love this podcast, dude. This podcast gives me life, bro. If I had to pick a fictional race that I think are awesome, I think the Thanagarians from DC Comics, the Hawkmen, Hawkman and Hawkgirl. These guys are cool as shit, dude. They have nth metal, and all they do is listen to dancing all day and fly. and bash
Nice.
people in the head with giant maces made of magic and shit. Dudes are awesome. And also, the whatever those aliens are from the Q continuum, those cosmic beings with infinite power.
Hmm.
You know, like Q and Wesley Crusher. Oh, I hate Wesley Crusher so much. But yeah, the Q continuum species is real dope. You know, can pretty much do anything. You have damn near omnipotence over all the cosmos. Those are the true masters of the universe right there. The Q continuum dudes give Picard a hard time for no reason. Ah, man. Question 2. Do you fancy yourself a chef? If so, what's your main recipe? What's your main dish?
I barbecue, so any meat I
Yo,
can cook.
meat.
Yeah.
Yo, what's your favorite kind of? Are you more of a rub guy, or are you more of a sauce dude? How you rock it, man?
I'm more of a. I do dry rub.
Yeah.
More of a. Yeah. If it's too wet, then there's a problem. I don't like. I like wearing this is. I wear a specific type of clothing, and I don't really want to get it all dirty all the
I feel
time.
you, man. But
Yeah.
you know what they say, man. You know, if it's not all over the place, it doesn't belong to your face, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Those are people that don't need to look good
I
all the
know.
time.
I mean, like if I'm all suited up, I'm not gonna just put my hands wrist deep in some, Carolina
Yeah.
fire ribs. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's not the meal for that suit. You know, but if I'm at the house, I'm at a barbecue, and I'm wearing like just whatever, then
Mhm.
wetter the better, baby.
But it's like my version of whatever is wearing one of my older bowling shirts
Oh yeah,
with khaki pants. So
that's the up, man.
yeah.
Oh man, if I had to pick one, it would be I like the way I make my fettuccine alfredo.
Oh
That's my favorite dish. I make the alfredo sauce from scratch.
yeah.
Uh, add a little cayenne pepper for a little seasoning. Grill up some chicken breasts on the stove. No frying because we keep it clean. You know what I'm saying? Make sure my noodles are al dente. All that stuff, man. I do it fancy. I
All right.
may throw in some spinach or broccoli. Get them greens in. You know what I'm saying? Oh
Lost me
man.
at broccoli, but
You said broccoli? Broccoli's good. It depends on how you prepare it, man.
yeah, I like to eat it separately.
Nah, man. The broccoli gets just enough where it's not like garden fresh, but it's also has a little bite to it, a little chip. Man,
Yeah.
you in
Forget
there.
about it.
Forget about it. You in there like swimwear, baby. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, all right, you're playing a video game, right? You're
Hmm.
at the character select screen. You're at the create a character. How does your create a character look? What do you go for?
Well, depending on the game, like if I go for a fantasy game, I either
Yeah.
go for like the mountain man or the dwarf. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always pick the class that's closest to a paladin.
Yeah. Okay. You're
Yeah,
speaking my language now.
yeah, because it's just like a typical trope for me, particularly to pick a paladin now.
Yeah.
Um, but then if I'm playing like another game, like if back in the day that I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, if you look at my character, it's wearing like an all black suit with black gloves, carrying a Tommy gun, and like driving a
Yeah.
classic car.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do two too. Okay, so if I'm playing like a GTA game or like something more modern, my person always wears a hoodie, depending usually like maybe a gray or a blue hoodie with cargo
Uh-huh.
pants, and it's usually a light skinned dude with real big glasses, and I have like big old like Timberland boots on. That's usually my guy. Like when if I'm playing like Watch Dogs or I look like I just jumped out of Mark Echoes.
50 cent.
Yeah, 50 cents, but I'm saying that's
Yeah.
usually my creative character. But if I'm going more like fantasy, like if I was building a character in Skyrim, I always go with the real tall, kind of like elven dudes. I like elven dudes with the
Yeah.
big ears, with like the long, maybe long purplish hair, with the real fair skin, dude. Like Gargan, the legend of Gargan never
Mhm.
dies. Gargan is my night elf rogue in World of Warcraft, and he's the realest. And
No.
he smokes those real long pipes like Gandalf and shit. And he wears like real like roguish gear. or he's super clean, like the Elf Lord in Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? That's what my Final Fantasy 14 character looks like. He's an archmage, so he always wears like the real archmage like fantasy suits, and he has like glasses.
Okay.
Bro. Yeah, man. Gargon is a beast. Respect the name forever. Oh man, makes me want to pick up 14 again. Oh man, that's a show, man. That's a podcast.
Yeah,
dude. That is a Podest Castus. So, what are you looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to getting back to the swing of things of life. Looking more into fantasy grounds, trying to learn how to use the program.
Yeah, man.
That's fun. I'm also looking. I want to play online poker still.
Yeah, man. Yeah, get into that, man. Get that money.
Yeah, or just like I'd like to. Not really interested in the money. I'm interested in like getting poker prizes right now.
Oh, that's
like,
cool. Yeah.
Like getting, because there's like one site that the way that they get around gambling is that you become a membership of a club, and then on that club you get free entry into different prizes, sort of like winning, or what is it, poker tournaments.
Right.
So it's like $20 a month, but then you have access to all these different games. So I'm interested in that. Cool. Because I'd like to like have a watch that says Poker Player 3000, or it's a piece of crap watch, but I like to look good.
That's nothing wrong with that, boss. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah. That's what's up, dude. Oh man, this coming week, dude. Like you said, getting in the swing of things, man. Like these last couple of weeks has been like weird because I've had like weird off days. You know what I'm saying? So my whole entire schedule's been a bit wonky, but I want to get back into proper drawing. During the winter, all my art stuff in my brain just goes into hibernation, and I just can't draw like I usually draw.
Okay.
So I need to get back in the swing of things of that. I want to jump into an MMO, some kind of MMO. I don't know what yet though. Maybe Destiny 2. Maybe get back into 14. Something. I need to scratch that itch. At least until the end of the month, because the end of the month, Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming out, so that's going to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
best bang for your buck would be, I think, Elder Scrolls Online, if you're just looking for something for that. Like, I turn all the music off and just have my Dio music playing in the background, and while I'm just just all those music while I'm just hacking and slashing zombies or stuff. It's like one of the best games for that.
I need something like just to put on a good track, turn my brain off, log in as my character, maybe run a raid or two. You know what I'm saying? Turn it off, finish my night. You know what I'm saying?
ESO would be it. I mean, I have like 20 quests going on right now, and I'm just slowly going through each one.
Can I play it on PlayStation? Do you think?
I'm pretty sure.
I'll try to find it on the PlayStation Store and see what prices they have, because I need to get something to tide me over until the two big games come out at the end of the month, and then they're going to have my full attention. But I just need something in the meantime to tide me over.
Or what you could do is check out Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
Or Plight of Exile, whatever it's called. The Diablo copy game. Yeah. And I'm curious what it's like, so if you do it, and let me know.
I've been watching Twitch, and one of the guys I watch has been playing a lot of Pillars. And it looks very fun. It looks like a lot of min-maxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like it's very like stats heavy, which is cool with me. I can manage that, but I'm just gonna pretty much surf the PlayStation Network and see what deals they have, because I need to jump into something to kill time until literally the end of the month. And so that's pretty much going to be my week. That's hunting down that game and then playing it like a madman and getting some drawing in at the same time. And I want to do a top 10 upcoming films with 2018. Like maybe like a little audio podcast, maybe for the Patreon or something. So I'm trying to work that out. You know. So yeah, man. Any last words for the Nerdiverse out there before we hang it up?
Go out there and don't be afraid to nerd out.
Just nerd out. Go to your comic book store,
What's
buy
the
comics.
word? A nerd out?
Nerd out.
Does anyone even know that song anymore?
They will.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be... I'm going to get some weird version of it to put at the end of this podcast.
There you go.
You just saved my life. You know what's the coolest thing you do? You go to your comic store, right? You get you a nice, thick graphic novel. Like, I got to read Secret Wars for something else for the channel. Marvel Secret Wars. You go to a restaurant. You go to, like, you know, a Chili's or something like that. You pop out the book and you read it while you're in the restaurant. At least one person in your entire time there will walk by and say, oh, that looks cool. And you know what? You just converted somebody to the nerdiverse. That's how you do it, man. That's how you make friends.
Nice.
Don't be afraid to nerd it up, man. You know what I'm saying? If you draw, go to a restaurant and just draw at the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be surprised how many people just walk by and be like, oh, that looks cool. You know what I'm saying? Or if you write, you know, just write at the restaurant, right? Or wherever you at. Just don't be afraid to nerd it up. You'll make more friends than not at all. Just do it. You know, dare to be stupid, as Weird Al would say. You know what I'm saying? Good advice. Good advice. That hits me right from the bottom. Of
Digital Underground. Don't they have like getting stupid?
I called that stupid. Oh, that's Vanilla Ice. I'm sorry, everybody. Passing words.
Do the Humpty Hump. Oh, you already got mine.
You know what? Watch Nothing But Trouble. That's my passing word. Watch that weird ass movie, and you will not regret it. You might. You super might regret it, but you won't be mad about it. You'll just be kind of like weirded out and want to watch Jurassic Park or some, you know, normie shit to balance it out. But you can't get more weirder than Nothing But Trouble. So watch that. That's my passing word for this week. And come back to me with your homework finished and on my table by 1 o'clock. As always, you can find this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And if you're listening to iHeartRadio or iTunes or any of these outlets, please leave a like, comment, and even subscribe to my channel. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I want all the inputs. I want all the content, comments, and contents that you want to provide to this channel. I look forward to hearing from you. It would help it out greatly. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And this is, of course, my co-host,
Winchester-house.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.